friends on YouTube. I'm John. The coffee's ready and you might have a sip. I'm gonna do, if you read the title, you already know, I'm gonna do a little summing up of knives I purchased this year. I don't have many rules, but I just want to tell you that some of these knives were probably from last year, among others this V605, but I chose to show you the knives that I bought or purchased this year, and if you wonder, some of them were from last year. Well, that's why, but I want to show off what I got this year. And so some of the knives may be a bit old to you, and they may be from previous years, but they are my purchases this year. And I can't do a video of all the best knives this year anyway, since it has been a ton of knives, good knives this year, and it is really impossible to keep up with all the good offers that are out there. It is very easy to feed your addiction these years. So I chose around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 knives and 3 honorable mentions, which contrary to others I'll do first. So the first honorable mention is V605. Got this at a reasonably cheap price from a friend in the US, Nick Stasa23. Go watch his channel if you like. Again, Stasa23. This is an amazingly nice knife, though not the smoothest out of the box. It is around $250, so I know some of you will say this is absolutely crazy, and some of you will say this is very cheap, but that's my bid for a very good knife. And although it looks a bit, I don't know, novelty, it is in fact a very nice user. I have used it much more than I thought. At that price it could easily, in my collection, be a safe queen, but in fact I love it very much as a user, and I have carried it much more than I even thought I would. So that was one. Then I got this Reate CGS 240p, number 284 out of 400. So this is this is really able to be a safe queen. Mokutai inlay in the handle, and a very nice knife, one of the smoothest knives in my collection. I made it an honorable mention because of the price. This would normally be around $400 to $500, so I'm very grateful I got this at an extremely cheap price, and I'm grateful to Stefan of the Little Odless channel for selling me this at an amazing price. Never would have been able to get something like this otherwise. And again, some of you will think $400 to $500 is absolutely crazy, but yeah, well, once you're addicted, so I guess I can say, like Nick Shabazz, don't get into knives, or don't get into watches, as he says. Very nice knife, and I love it a lot. I think you can still get it, but honorable mention because it is very expensive. We'll put that over there. And then last but not least, the North Arm Skaha, and the reason I make this an honorable mention is because I haven't really carried it enough to form a sort of firm opinion about it, but I for the flipping action and for the looks, the beautiful carbon fiber and the milling pattern in the blade, and yeah, it's just an amazing knife, and it has that fluent action. Yeah, I don't know, like hot butter on glass or something. How do you define smoothness? It is an amazing knife, and I am so much in love with it. And very simple and classic blade shape, and that's what I'm revolving towards. Little simpler blade shapes, more useful perhaps. Maybe that's where I am going in the coming year. I don't know. Let's put that aside. Then we come to what I consider the best knives in my collection, what I bought this year, and now my voice is getting a bit coarse, so I'll just cheers. And I have chosen not to put them in any particular order, because for some of you some things may be nice, for others other things, and there's no accounting for taste. So these are just my take on some 7 very good knives for a number of different reasons. And the first one being Kershaw Natrix CF carbon fiber. This separates itself from the original Natrix being non-assisted, and why they didn't do that to the original I don't quite get, because they can make a very good action on this one. It is one of the best actions I've tried in a Kershaw knife, so they can do quite a good job in that. It is around, I think, around $60 to $80, and it is just a very nice little user knife. Not very heavy, slim, doesn't leave a big footprint in your pocket, and it is amazingly sharp. HCR 13 MOV steel, as always, was Kershaw's. Well, not a great steel, but yeah, I'll talk a little bit about steels later, just to sum off of the year. Deep carry pocket clip. Just all in all, a very nice little middle range folder for some decent everyday EDC, and not too heavy EDC, but just everyday. Then at the end of the year came the Civivis, and this is the Backlash. The steel is 9CR18 MOV, and this is amazing knives. Very cheap. Still comes with the usual Wii pouch and everything, but at around $40 to $50. Quite amazing. They have an amazing action, and of course the usual Wii quality concerning sharpness, and very nice in hand. All over, just good users, and I actually thought I was gonna like the Praxis. Just show you the most. Also a very nice knife, but in fact I ended up liking the Backlash more, and just for a little better action and a little smaller blade. But you know, some like one, some like the other. That's really, they are very close to each other in overall quality, but just some differences in blade shapes and so on. So this Civivi Backlash. Next one, and I know Ganzo is always controversial, but I think this is sort of an original design. The Ganzo FH11 in D2 steel. Very amazing budget bid for Ganzo on ball bearings. Comes in carbon fiber even, and I think there's a similar model but in in steel that is going to be named FH13. I'm looking forward to that one, but really a very nice knife, and at $25 almost unbeatable. So it has to make it on the list. Very good budget offer indeed. Then a big knife, but a very nice knife indeed. The SRM 1005 Sanrenmu, of course, also one of the more controversial. SRM is their name for their a little more expensive knives, and I hope if you look at the edge you can see they come with a mirror polished edge, and very nice finish and smooth action. A lock up here, and the handle is so well rounded off, even if it has some jimping for holding it firmly. It is also rounded off very nicely. This knife, if I just without pushing to the camera, it had a strong competitor in the Real Steel Thor Special Edition, and I chose the Sanrenmu because it actually is a bit smoother, and it's $10 to $20 cheaper, and actually it's rounded off much more nicely in the handle than the Real Steel, which was sort of a disappointment to me, since Real Steel is one of my favorite brands, but the Sanrenmu beat it, and so that's just the way it is. So very special. I know some won't like this this blade shape. A lot of belly on this one, and very big knife, but I kind of like it, and it is 9CR14 MOV steel, not a bad steel either. Very nice knife, and as I said, it beat the Real Steel. It is around $30–40. So with the more controversial Chinese knives out of the way, a new brand this year, Bestech, and this might be just sort of a representative, but it is also one of the, in my opinion, one of the best Bestechs they made. Bestech Beluga, a little smaller than usual Chinese knives, clip, and yeah, overall just a very nice knife. Only issue with this one is that the steel is 12C27. Not a big issue for my use, but I know some of you would dislike it, and I think the newer ones are coming in D2 as well. I think they had some issue with their D2, and they switched to 12C27 until they got those issues fixed. So now just a very nice knife, classic design, finger choil. Is very nice in hand, though a little bit of a hot spot around the pocket clip, but other than that, just a very nice little user. And yet another Chinese knife, the CH3504S, small version of the 3504, if you know, the one with the skull on the handle. This is just a little tiny version of this, and it fits just so well in my hand still, and it has an amazing action. And for around, oh, what would it be, around 80–70 euro, it is and it's a titanium handle. Only only trouble with this is also 8 steel in that price range, but it has an amazing action. And it's just a nice little knife. I've carried it much more than I thought I would, but it's actually been so good that I bought 2. So I have a different version as well, and I could show it to you. Just the titanium gray handle with a little bit of a milling pattern. I don't know if that's even visible. So I love these 2 very much, and I use them every day. It's not, I don't care much about snail trails or anything, so these are just so nice knives, and as you can hear, very smooth and snappy action, and you can see it as well. So let's see if we can get it into the picture, all of them. The last one, I can't really not have a real steel, since it is my favorite brand. A gentleman's folder, a front trapper, the real steel Metamorph G5, designed by Ostep, and yeah, it does look a bit murdery, but at the same time it's also very pretty, and pretty nice to have in your pocket. Not very deep carry though, but and as I said in another review, the front flipper takes a bit of practice, but have a look at the smoothness. It just falls shut. Very, very nice knife, as always with the real steels. 14C20N8, sorry, the steel is 14C28N. Very, very nice knife indeed if you like front flippers, and I think the color is quite pretty as well. I think I should sort of sum up a little bit this year. It has been so nice if you are addicted, except for your wallet. So many choices in knives, so many options all around, and new brands. And I could have mentioned Artisan, QSP, whatever. Really a lot of choices, and not almost impossible to keep up. I think that this is not going to be a channel update, but I think that in the year to come I'll probably do more of simply the knives I like to look at the best. This year I really tried to keep up with what was new, but the problem is everywhere around the world there's someone sitting with contacts inside the knife world or sponsored by and so on, so I'll always be a bit late with even with the new things. So I think in the year to come I'll probably just buy what I like and not take so much put so much attention to whether it's new or brand new or whatever. I can't keep up with the bigger channels, especially in the US, since most of the things are sort of on sale there first, so I'll always be after, and I don't wanna chase that in that race anyway. I can't afford it, and it's difficult to keep up being in the place that I live. That's just the way it is, but I think I can still find some interesting knives, and perhaps there will be more reviews out in advance of those, but well, I can always give my take on them anyway. And with this is gonna be a bit strange if you watch in the summer, but to me, this day, it's the 23rd of December. the day before Christmas Eve. So for those of you who celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas. And for those of you who don't, Happy Holidays. And for all of you, have a nice day, evening, week, whatever it is in your country. Bye bye.